Oh man, I got a quick question, man. Do y'all ever just, just chill, just lay back?
What is that?
And think, what would I do without Fright Friday?
Get the fuck out of here, bitch!
What?
You suck!
Oh, that's how you feel? Welcome to Fright Friday, where every single Friday I come on here and I either play a scary game or react to a bunch of scary short films. It seems like you guys kind of enjoy this. I enjoy this more than playing 2K kind of. But let's go ahead and get into this first video. I don't want the intro to take too long.
Hey, baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan.
Alright, so the first video we're going to be watching is actually the second half of the bathroom troll video from last week. So if you haven't watched the video from last week, I'll put like a card up in the corner of the video. I don't know which corner it's going to be in. But make sure you go to watch that, because if you don't, you won't understand this half of the video. So, yeah, let's get into it.
When Satan was wrongly cast out of heaven, he plummeted to earth with such force that the ground opened upon impact, embracing him, healing his pain. From then until the end of time, his landing point upon our world harbors a sacred power, a gift we know as Devil's Landing.
Rejoice, ye faithful. Do not be afraid, for in his footsteps we too shall rise from the ashes and punish all those who...
That was kind of nice. Hail who?
Hail Satan.
Now, my daughter, bring forth your pain and suffering, your tormentors in vivid detail. The fury within you must bind them.
Get your goddamn hands off of me. Oh, but...
Deeper. Deeper. Go deeper, child. Feel the anger. Do not fear it. Recall the faces of your enemies, for soon he will see them too.
Wrap it up, Mama.
Hear us, Lord Satan. Seize my daughter's fury. Pull it from her. Devour her pain and rise to avenge us. I see they suffer just as she did. Pull the rage. Pull the rage from within her. Call forth her anger and bind her tormentors. Make their suffering tenfold. Send it back to them. Abolish the wrongdoers. Slaughter them with suffering just as they did unto you. With fury, all things are possible.
What is that? I know this is not supposed to be funny, but...
Behold, the vengeance troll is risen.
Hey.
Too dark. Looks slutty.
Is she in the bathroom?
Your makeup is
Okay. Let's see.
Girls, practice is canceled. Get your stuff and go home. Now, move it!
lights again.
Alexis, your tits are disgusting. Disgusting. Alexis, your tits are disgusting.
Okay, this kind of funny. This ain't even scary no more. This is funny.
Oh, what's the matter, Cassie? To the devil with false modesty. We must celebrate our new powers.
Please, Mama, please stop the vengeance troll, please.
I will do no such thing. We have been calling upon Satan for years at Devil's Landing. At last, he has heard our voices. Your anger was the missing ingredient. I know that now. Come, daughter. Join me. He has blessed us with the troll. Let us rejoice. For they will never find peace again. Not in all the bathrooms in the world.
Not in all the bathrooms in the world.
I even talked about with your stupid tit makeup.
Bruh.
No, it's nothing. I gotta run. I'll text you later.
Stop it! Stop! Stop it! Stop it! Stop!
What are you doing here? You can't be here.
I know it's you. I don't know how, but I know it's you. It's all about that bathroom. I'm sorry, okay? I learned my lesson. You win. Look at me. I can't eat. I can't drink. I'm scared to death to use a bathroom. I tried to go behind a bush, and the lights started flickering and humming. It was outside. There weren't even any lights. Please leave me alone. I didn't know you were a girl, I swear.
Okay, I think I know how to stop it. Come on.
Yeah, her mom.
Oh God, the lights, it's happening.
That scream is hilarious. No lie.
Why do you protect those who would do you harm? Fury called me to you. Do not silence yourself. Not be the last time you suffer at the hands of others.
No more blood, troll.
Stay with me, Cass, and I will always save you from those who bring you pain.
I bet you her breath smell like hot onions. Like, bro, back up, bro.
I forgive her. I forgive her, troll, and rescind my fury. Return that which is no longer yours.
Very well. Cassie.
Oh, that's the gym. Okay, that makes sense. We're gonna drag her by her hair though.
It's finished, Cassie. The cycle is complete now. Oh. There, my child. Mama's here.
Stay with me, Cassie, and I will always save you from those who bring you pain.
That's tough. That's tough. That's what she get. That's what she gets. That's what she get. All right. That was good. That was good. That was actually really good. All right, on to the second one.
Hey, baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan.
All right, the second video we're gonna be watching is called "True Insanely Scary School Lockdown Horror Story" by a channel named Horror Stories. Literally, all of the links and the channel links and the video links will be in the description. So make sure you go check these channels out if you want to watch them by yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video.
So it was a Friday, the last day of school, and the week until on Monday. The only thing on my mind was after school, and I'm pretty sure everyone else was thinking the same. Nothing could go wrong today. I mean, it's just school. What is the worst that could possibly happen? So I was sitting in a class with 20 other classmates. It was a science lesson and we were learning about atoms when suddenly I heard a loud horn sound come from the speakers. It sounded like one of those sounds that came from the movie Birds before everyone would kill each other. My teacher looked worried and anxious and told everyone to go to the side of the room and under the tables. Everyone in my class looked worried. By then I found out we were having a lockdown. I'm pretty sure my classmates found out as soon as I did, and my teacher went to close the lights. Everything was dark. No light at all. I could barely even see where the tables were. The only bit of light was from underneath the door. We heard loud thuds in the other doors outside my class, and that rang a bell on my teacher. He said the most frightening thing you could say when your school is on lockdown and someone is right outside. He whispered, "I forgot to lock the door." I mean, how was that not your first priority? Well, after to get us all to safety. I couldn't really blame him. He looked like as if he was about to relieve in his pants, but still managed to slowly get up and approach the door. Suddenly, my teacher had reached the lock, but the door had opened just before, and my teacher got yanked out of the class. Me and my friend both went up to the door to lock it and shut it before the man could come in. I got so much goosebumps everywhere in my body, and that only boosted my adrenaline.
Tough.
I could hear the group of girls at the back crying, and some of the boys were shivering and still, while one boy and another girl came to help us. The man on the other side was pushing against the door, but we were stronger than him and managed to lock it. The man behind the door was banging on the door, screaming, while me and my friend slowly walked backwards, ready for anything. Suddenly, we heard 2 loud shots come from outside. We were worried that anything happened to our teacher, so we waited.
The teacher dead.
After what felt like 5 minutes of waiting, everything was quiet. Me and my friend gathered the courage to walk up to the door and see what was going on. My friend unlocked it while I peeked. I saw the most confusing and horrifying thing ever. I saw my teacher with a gun in his hand, pointing it at a student. I rushed over to attack him and punched the back of his head, which made him unconscious. The second guy came out of nowhere when I lowered my guard, but luckily my friend came out and grabbed him and tripped him over, which let me and my friend grab him again and hold tight, locking him. Soon the police were called, and both my teacher and the man was arrested. It still makes me think to this day, why was my teacher pointing a gun at another student?
That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why she was pointing the gun at the student. Maybe she got blackmailed or something. I don't know. That's tough though. Let's get to the next one.
Hey, baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan.
Alright, so this third video is called The Woman, made by a channel called Llama Arts. Yeah, I'll put the link, just like I said, put the links to all these videos down in the description if you want to watch it by yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. More details at the end of the video. It was a late, moonless, snowy night. I heard the chilling cry of a bobcat as I arrived home from my parents' house, where we had just had Thanksgiving dinner in northern Michigan. Exhausted, I had finally made it to my bed when my pregnant girlfriend asked for nacho cheese munchies. Reluctantly, I laced up my boots and went to my car. Due to the cold, it took me a while to start the car, which only made me more irritated. But eventually I got it started, and I arrived at the convenience store to retrieve my girlfriend's mandated snacks.
The blandest name ever.
As I left the store, walking back towards my car, I saw a shadow of movement out of the corner of my eye. What looked like a person stood near the dumpster, just out of the light. I stepped towards the figure, and she looked at me with a giant, sinister smile.
It's a zombie, my nigga.
Her face was so weathered, it looked like she had cracks all over her face. She was crouched down and appeared to be chewing on something. I looked to see what she was chewing on. To my surprise, it was a severed arm. It looked old, as if it had been rotting for weeks. I saw her glance at something in her pocket. I could see the outline of what looked like a pocket knife. As soon as I looked back up, she quickly charged me.
Hold on,
I
let's
pushed
talk
her
about what
away
this dude
and
got
ran
on,
back to the convenience store.
What
I
does this
burst through the
dude got
door
on,
and
bro?
frantically yelled towards the cashier to call the police as I turned to lock it. He asked me, "What's going on?" I scowled at him and said, "Please, just call the cops." I looked back outside and saw the woman had moved across the street and was still scrutinizing me as she maintained her malevolent grin. "Look, there's a girl out there who's trying to kill me." Looking over me, he replied, "I don't see anyone out there, sir." Those words shook me, even to this day. When the police reached the gas station, they began looking around for the woman while one of the officers asked me what had happened, and I told him the details of the encounter. One of the officers came back and said he couldn't find anything. I then took them back to where I first noticed her. We spent a few minutes intently searching, but there was no proof she was ever even there. The officer cocked his head and looked at me as if I was deranged and asked me in a judgmental tone, "Are you feeling okay?" I was about to defend myself, and then I started to think. I am tired, and I have had a couple of drinks, so I just told him, "Yes, sir. Sorry for bothering you. I hope you have a nice night." And then I drove home. I got home at around 4 o'clock in the morning. My girlfriend greeted me with an angered but concerning tone of voice. She asked me,
Where were you? Are you okay?
So I told her everything that happened. Of course, she didn't believe me. I couldn't get to sleep that night. I sat in my bed questioning my sanity, wondering if it was all even real. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm just tired. But no, that can't be it. I saw it. But if I saw it, why was there no proof? Where did the arm go? Where did she go? Before I knew it, it was 7 in the morning, and I had to go to work. I threw on my jacket as I was about to head to the construction site, and I put my hand in my pocket and noticed that there was a hole in it. It wasn't there the other day. I thought, what if she caught my jacket as I ran? Which further proves my suspicion that she was real. I couldn't believe it. My mind completely went wild until my girlfriend kissed me goodbye. I told my friends at work what had happened, and they didn't believe me either. They made jokes about it the entire day, but I had my bowling tournament that day, so that gave me something to look forward to. I got home and hung my vest and jacket up and rapidly put on my bowling shoes and got my bowling ball. My girlfriend looked at me with a pleasant smile and said,
When will you be back?
Probably around 11.
Don't be long.
I won't, don't worry. At around 10:30, the tournament had finally finished and we had won. I was so thrilled I had forgotten about the woman. As we were leaving, I noticed something at the other end of the parking lot. It was that psychotic woman. We stared at each other for what felt like an eternity. She slowly started moving towards me while waving her knife in the air and making cuts. I quickly jumped into my car and turned it on. As I looked up, I saw she was standing in front of me, staring at me. She slowly walked over to my window and she said,
I'm running into her slow.
Deep, scratchy voice.
Little pig, let me in.
I was frozen in fear, but I snapped back to reality when she
in a
banged
whole
on the roof of my car, screaming. I quickly slammed my foot on the accelerator and didn't let off it until I couldn't see her anymore. When I arrived home, I told my girlfriend what had happened. Like last time, she didn't believe me. I really thought I was insane, but I tried to forget about it and get some sleep. Later that night, I woke up and saw her in my room. All she said was, "Let me in," over and over as she got closer. She then started shouting,
Let me in, let me in, let me in! Let me in!
Come on, Paul. Stop being difficult.
Let me in!
I was wondering how in the world my girlfriend hadn't heard this going on. The woman was right next to me and held up a knife to me. That's when I fainted. I woke startled in my room, dripping with sweat. Then I remembered I don't have a girlfriend, nor a house, or a family.
Bro, what?
Come on, Paul. Time for your morning meds. Let me in.
Thanks to Skillshare
This dude
for
was dreaming the
sponsoring
whole
this video.
time?
Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes from industry professionals on illustration, animation,
God,
photography, filmmaking, music production,
Let's just go
and
to
more.
the next one, man.
Hey, baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan.
Alright, so this last animation we're gonna watch today is called True Omegle Chat Room Horror Story by a channel named Horror Shorts Party. So yeah, we're just gonna hop into this. I've never heard of this channel at all. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Horror Shorts Party.
This story happened to me a couple years ago. It happened on a Saturday night. I was typing out a school report for my English class and was pretty worn out from the tedious amount of thinking that transpired throughout the paper. I decided to take a break and procrastinate a little bit, maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos. I needed to take some stress off my mind, but didn't really have anyone to vent or talk to. This gave me the idea to visit a chat room called Omegle. For those of you who don't know what Omegle is, it's a chat room where you can literally video chat with random strangers online through your computer webcam. Needless to say, Omegle definitely helped with my social skills growing up as a child, so I was always active.
Maybe I need to use Omegle.
I remember this one particular night. I was having trouble meeting new people. This left me a little frustrated to say the least, but that's the kind of thing to expect when you're on these kind of chat sites. That's when I stumbled upon this one guy. He looked to be around the same age group as myself and seemed like a pretty harmless individual. I decided to say hi.
Crazy, bro. What are you talking
He didn't say anything back, he just typed the word hi in the chat box. I found it kind of weird that he would go through the effort of typing out hi as opposed to just saying hi verbally. He then waved at me and began typing something else. He introduced himself in the chat box saying, "My name is Daniel, what's your name?" I verbally said, "My name is James, how are you?" He then stares at the camera and doesn't say a word to me, completely dismissing the fact that I just asked him a question. At this point, I was convinced that this had to be some sort of pre-recorded video and that someone was just trolling me. That's when he began typing in the chat box again, saying, "I'm deaf. Please type in the chat box unless you know sign language." I honestly felt stupid and immediately typed, "No worries, my name is James," and gave a quick thumbs up as an act of kind gesture. He immediately typed back saying, "Nice to meet you, James," and gave me a thumbs up as well. He then typed something else that left me dumbfounded. He said, "I will use my whiteboard to chat with you going forward because my hands will be occupied." I was confused by what he meant by that, so I typed, "What do you mean by your hands being occupied?" He then starts writing on a whiteboard and raises it up on the screen, which read, "Want to play a game?" I typed, "Sure, what game you want to play?" What he did next is something I will never forget to this day. He held a revolver up with one hand and the whiteboard up with the other hand, saying, "Let's play Russian roulette." I was honestly quite creeped out by this guy and was contemplating clicking the stop option to skip this weirdo. That's when he wrote another message on the whiteboard saying, "1 of 6. I was confused by what 1 of 6 meant. He then took the revolver, slipped one bullet inside the cylinder, and began spinning it with his other hand. I now knew what he meant by 1 of 6. It seemed like the guy was about to demonstrate an act of Russian roulette with one bullet in the cylinder of 6. He then puts the revolver against his head. I began typing, "What are you doing? Please stop this." The guy then smiles disturbingly on the camera and pulls the trigger. Nothing happened. He starts laughing hysterically like a psycho. I was honestly disturbed, but also skeptical that the gun was real, so I typed, "Is that even real?" He then points the revolver at the wall and begins to repeatedly press the trigger until the shot was fired. I was completely blown away by what I was seeing and typed, "Dude, you could have died!" That's when the guy raised the whiteboard to the screen again, showing the message, 5 of 6. I frantically started typing, "Don't do it," repeatedly in the chat box, desperately trying to get his attention. He then began loading the revolver with 5 bullets while I gestured no by waving my hands back and forth like a lunatic. I knew the odds of him surviving this time were slim to none. He then raises the revolver against his head once again and begins to disturbingly smile, with tears running down his face. He began mumbling the words, "It was nice meeting you, James." I immediately slammed my laptop shut as I hear a gunshot a split second before the laptop was fully closed. I was left baffled on my computer desk. I hadn't a clue what to do. I stupidly opened my laptop up with my eyes closed. I pressed my hand against the screen where the video chat was located. I opened my eyes, and through the cracks of my fingers, I can see blood displayed everywhere on his screen. I immediately clicked the exit button on the Google Chrome tab and call it a night. To this day, I'm still skeptical about what I saw.
I'm sorry.
I haven't reported anything to the police, nor have I reported anything to Omegle. I'm not sure if that was the wisest decision, but I hope I never encounter anyone like that again.
Yeah, what's up? Things people do online just don't make no sense. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to wrap up this week's Fright Friday right there. But if you enjoyed, please let me know by liking and commenting. It'll help me out so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I'm out.
Baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan. I ain't do no plan, these red bottoms on no Vans. And she telling all her friends, I might put them on the ground. Baby girl, what you doing? Where your man? I just popped a Zan, 50,000 in Japan. I ain't do no plan, these red bottoms on no Vans. And she telling all her friends, I might put them on the ground.